Greetings, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. I'm actually smoking Jermaine's King Charles. It's great. By the smell in the pouch, you do think you're going to get hit by a Latakia mallet. But it's actually very subtle in the blend. A Virginia Forward English. I wish there was a bit more body to the smoke somehow, but hey ho. One thing I was going to talk about briefly. I don't know how many of you guys listen to audiobooks or something like that. I have the Audible app, and when I'm not listening to the HPLHS sort of dark adventure radio theatre, I quite often listen to stuff on Audible. And there was the first part of a book that I bought a little while ago. I listened to the first bit and I wasn't that taken with the adaptation. It was an adaptation of one of my favourite graphic novels, which is The Sandman, which is Neil Gaiman. I guess you kind of either know about it or you don't. If you do, you'll know why it's so hailed as a masterpiece. And if you don't, you should, because it's a masterpiece. But this was an Audible adaptation by, I think they're called Big Fish Audio or Big Fish Studios, but they've done really great adaptations in the past of like The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is one of my favourite ones actually. But I listened to the first chapter of The Sandman, and even though there's some great actors in it, I just wasn't taken with the style. I kind of put it to one side. But then something drew me back to it last week, and I've been listening to it solidly, and actually my opinion has done a complete 180 on it. It's amazing. So, in fact, it's narrated by Neil Gaiman, which is kind of a plus. And Dream is played by James McAvoy, if I'm right. It just turns out it took a chapter or two to kind of find its feet, but it's there now. It's really good, and you get quite a lot of it. It's it's got an insanely long running time. I don't think I'm exaggerating if I say it's about 24 hours. You get a lot. They've obviously adapted quite a few of the graphic novels, not necessarily all of them, but I know there's a few in there. So there you go. If that piques your interest, take a punt. It's not a paid advertisement or anything. I just really like it. All right. So, this week's pipes. One was a commission, and one is available, and in my estimation is a bit special. Let me show you the commission first. It is a green Slenderman with a gold Cumberland stem. Now this is a little bit amusing because I've had this commission coming up for probably 8-9 months. My commission list is about 10 months long at this point. So this has been coming for a while. And I'd kind of forgotten it was going to be a green one. And last week, Dude Reviews said, ooh, Slenderman, maybe in green. Although he said Cthulhu green, which is probably more aqua green. This is obviously a brighter, more acrid, acid affair. But the stem on it, the combination of green and gold, turns out I like it quite a lot. Bit of a contrast, some super rugged plateau. I quite like it. Let me just put this down. It's not that regular for plateau to do a concave. You can't normally does that because it's in a round, but obviously Briar does. The Briar burls do all sorts of odd and crazy things. It's nature after all. But I do like when you kind of get this concave sort of crevice affair. I like it because it's unusual. Someone will remark, finally he did a near pipe drop. As you can see, there's a kind of contrast there. It's the straight grain is kind of crazy and all over the place. The ring grain is fairly even, funnily enough. So just a unique block. And that's the gold. It is not the same gold as we used for the last Horseman box set. That was a pure gold. This is antique gold, which is not one that I make available. It's just a colour I was playing with. So, and you're going to see it again in a moment, used in a very different way. So there we go. Green Slenderman. That will be going off at the start of the week, start of next week. This next pipe is available, and I haven't made a pipe this way for a little while. I think it might have been at least a year since I've done one. This is a variation on the iridescent Carnivorous Snail, which I hinted at and did a picture of last Pipes episode. But this is the new version. It is a golden carnivorous snail. So this is the black and, I suppose you would call it Cumberland, but it's the black and antique gold resin forms the shell, and is the same resin for the stem as well. After that, it is the snail form, with a kind of sort of maybe a heavy medium blast on it. Enough so that you can see the ring grain coming through, but it's not super heavy. I didn't want to erode the carving. Plateau on the foot. I think the foot is the correct anatomical term. So yeah, there's lines going every which way. This is the first time I've done a carved shell. Wanted to do something different for this guy. They've either been smooth or they've been sandblasted, but I kind of wanted to get that spiral snail motif to sort of push it and do something different. And it kind of, I thought it would work in the resin, and I think I was right. Carved, part carved stem. And it's a reverse calabash as well, so there is a small chamber in the bottom there. The stem is quite shallow. The I suppose the part of it that you call the tenon, although it's not really. And then there's a chamber about so deep, about so wide as well. So you do get a reverse calabash effect in there as well. There you go, and stained with cordovan British tan. There you are. So that guy's available. If you're interested, give me an email. I haven't posted it up on the social media bits just yet. I think I will save that until next week, or maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know. So if you want to get in before it hits those, you'll need to be quick. All right. That's it from me. You've seen this week's pipes. Till next time, which will be episode 24 of the Magnus Archives. Take it very easy, but until then, your loyal pipe maker.